Hi, Nicholas here with Sigma World, here with the mighty Carl Brincat, CEO of the MGA. Good to see you, pal.
Good to see you too. Thanks for the invite.
Cool. This is not your first merry-go-round at the Sigma.
No, I would say not. It is my eighth.
Your eighth one, but in terms of being in charge of the MGA?
Second. Yeah.
Okay, so how has it been to date? You entered the MGA and the head of the MGA at a very tough time internationally for Malta.
Yeah, I mean, we all know what grey listing was like, right? We all know the impact that it had. It was challenging, but I think the commitment that we made as a country to get out of the grey list as soon as possible was fulfilled. So now we're definitely happier than we were 1 year ago. And at the same time, throughout grey listing, we really put in a lot of effort in order to try and mitigate the impact of that. We spoke to a lot of international counterparts, correspondent banks, foreign institutions, and I think we managed to cushion that a bit, although a lot of work still needs to be done in general to help the industry.
Right, and something else that... Okay, so the MGA takes a risk-based approach. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so we're a bit secretive about it, but the reason is that we want to make sure that we apply it in the most fair way internally. But what we do is, so when we have both at onboarding stage as well as at ongoing stage, we have a very detailed risk matrix which takes into account everything from product to jurisdiction to the business plan to previous compliance history, and that educates how we look at the operator. So that educates both what we ask for at an onboarding stage, but also how often you get audits, what kind of audits, on what teams we look at when we do audit in post-licensing.
And I've seen that the MGA has been doing a lot of work to make the process simpler, with less paperwork.
Yeah, it's a focus for us to make sure that our resources are used where they are most effective, right? So we do not want to have bureaucracy, we do not want to have excessive red tape which gives no added value from a regulatory perspective. That said, we have, and I understand that simplifying has also meant adding some more things on what we deem to be very important, but I think what's most important for us is to make sure that what does not give that added value is removed, because we want to remove extra red tape.
Okay. Now, the high net worth individual scheme, is that something which helps the MGA in their process and vice versa?
Rather than helping in the process, I would say it contributes to Malta in general as a country being the home of this industry, right? We contribute to it because we are the expert authority in charge on behalf of the Commissioner for Revenue to verify that the applicants are indeed highly qualified persons according to the regulations. And I think it really contributes to the whole ecosystem, because attracting those people with those skills to Malta is very important.
Has it been difficult to bring in not just the iGaming, like the operators, but also all of the ancillary services?
Rather than difficult, I think resources is something that is very topical. It has been topical for a while. It's a challenge for everyone to find the right resources, and anything that can help with that, just like highly qualified person scheme, is very important.
Now, a lot of EU companies have been following Malta's regulatory lead. Has that had any effect on our offer?
I would say I look at the license in terms of the offer. So our offer as Malta is not just the license, it goes way beyond it, right? As far as the license is concerned, yes, it has impacted market access for sure, but I think there's more value besides market access to the license. So, for example, the way we treat the industry, how cooperative we are, that we are a voice within international fora with our counterparts for fair, balanced and proportionate regulation, that we treat the industry as pulling the same rope for a compliant and sustainable industry. So I think there's value in the license beyond just market access. And then in terms of the Malta offer, it goes beyond the license as well. So you have the ecosystem, you have the operators who are here, you have service providers, you have talent. So I think, yes, in terms of market access, but it goes beyond that. Our offer goes beyond that.
Right. This idea of what Malta's idea is of the sector. So it's entertainment, it's a service provision. But are there other countries out there who look at the iGaming sector as something more nefarious?
Yeah, I think it's something that both the industry needs to continue educating other regulators and governments, and we want to help with that. I do think that the general perception, governments react to the people, right? So I think the people in Malta, like the industry, and government has been throughout the past 20-25 years very steadfast in its commitment to support the industry. But yes, I can see that that is not necessarily the mandate that governments give to our counterparts abroad. So I think education plays a big part in this. I think we need to make people understand what this industry really does, that it really cares about its players, and even the measures that it puts in place to protect them. Because I think there's still a lot to be done in this frame of mind.
Your predecessor, Mr. Kusheri, 7 years ago, he said he had the push was on to make Malta the Silicon Valley of iGaming. That was 7 years ago. You had 200 operators at the time. How are things in terms of the numbers? Are we heading towards the Silicon Valley goal?
So in terms of numbers, we're moving that way. We are currently at 329 operators based in Malta. I think we also need, in order to really achieve that goal, where I think we need to put in more effort is to make sure that Malta remains competitive for startups. Because I think on this we are a bit of a victim of our own success. Costs have gone up, so we need to make sure that we have the right framework for the good startups, the ones that want to do business in the right way, to still choose Malta as the place where they start.
Great. And talking about Malta and this event, what does Sigma mean to the MGA?
I mean, it is, first of all, it's a landmark event for Malta, for the industry in Malta. But to the MGA, a big part of our attitude is that we are always open for conversation with operators, and we want to be transparent. And Sigma is clearly one of the best ways that we can be present for the industry.
Talk to them, show them internationally, and for Malta, sell Malta.
Well, we're here for any operator of goodwill. We are the home, and will remain the home.
Mr. Brincat, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
Nicholas from Sigma World.